I can put you in the house on the hill, put you in the condo in the city.
If you're thinking about selling your home, or maybe your home has been sitting on the market and you're wondering why buyers are not pulling the trigger, this video is for you. As a Colorado real estate agent and a loan officer, I spend a lot of time talking with buyers, showing homes and hearing what they really think after they leave a showing. And let me tell you something, most sellers have absolutely no idea why buyers are rejecting their homes. The buyers will smile, thank us for the showing, walk out the front door, get into the car, and then tell me exactly why they are never coming back. Now, buyers today are very different than they were during the COVID market. Back then, buyers were waiving inspections, paying way over asking price, and competing with 20 other offers just to get a house. Today, they're cautious, they're analytical, and they're comparing every home against every other home. And they're absolutely terrified of making an expensive mistake. You would be too. So let's talk about the 10 biggest reasons buyers are rejecting homes. Reason number one, buyer rejecting the homes is the house feels like a money pit. That is the biggest one. Buyers are scared of surprise expenses. I can't tell you how many times I've shown a house where the buyer walks in and within the first 5 minutes starts noticing all the things that might need replacing. The roof looks older, the furnace is original, the water heater is nearing the end of its life. The windows have not been updated, the deck needs work, the driveway is cracked, and suddenly they're not looking at a house anymore, they're looking at a list of future repair bills. A few years ago, buyers would often overlook these things because inventory was so limited. They would say, well, we'll figure it out later. Today, not a chance. Today they are asking, how much is the roof going to cost? What happens if the furnace goes out next winter? How much will replacement windows cost? And honestly, can you blame them? Everything is more expensive than it used to be. Contractors cost more, materials cost more, insurance costs more. So when buyers see deferred maintenance, they do not see opportunity, they are seeing risk. Reason number two, your house is getting rejected. Location matters again. You know the old saying, location, location, location. Guess what? Location is back. During the crazy seller's market, people overlooked things that they normally would never have accepted. Busy roads, backing to commercial property, close to highways, next to power lines, near industrial areas. People bought those homes because they felt like they had no choice. Today, they have more choices and buyers are paying attention. In fact, many of my buyers will not even ask to see a house until they have driven by it first. They check traffic, they check noise, they look at the surrounding homes. They see if they like the neighborhood because no matter how beautiful a house is, you cannot move the location. You can remodel the kitchen, you can replace flooring, you can paint walls, but you cannot pick up the house and move it somewhere else. And that is why location has become one of the biggest deal breakers again. Reason number three, a house might be getting rejected is the backyard does not meet the dream. This is one sellers often underestimate. Buyers are not just buying a house, they are buying a lifestyle, especially here in Colorado, where we love spending time outdoors. People picture themselves grilling with friends, watching kids play, throwing a ball for the dog, sitting outside on a summer evening, enjoying mountain views. So when the listing description says private backyard oasis and buyers show up to find a tiny patch of grass with 6 neighboring windows staring directly at them, they're disappointed. And disappointed buyers do not write offers. Now, that doesn't mean every buyer needs a huge yard. Some people actually want low maintenance, but whatever the yard is, it needs to match the expectations created online. When buyers feel like reality does not match the marketing, trust starts disappearing immediately. Reason number four, the listing is throwing up red flags. Today, buyers are detectives. Before they ever call me, they've already researched the house. They know how long it's been on the market. They've looked at price reductions. They've compared it to competing homes. They've read the property history. And if something feels off, they're suspicious. And one of the most common questions I get, what's wrong with the house? Especially when a property has been sitting for 30, 60, or 90 days. Now, sometimes there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Many times it's simply overpriced, but buyers automatically assume there's a reason. And sometimes they're right. Maybe it's the location, maybe it's a floor plan issue, maybe the pictures look dramatically different than reality. Maybe the photos from every room look enormous and then buyers walk in and realize the bedrooms are tiny. Buyers today are incredibly savvy, and if they feel like the listing is not being transparent, they are usually moving on. Right now with listings, I do not like the virtual staging. I actually stage the homes I list because I don't want buyers to come in and be like, wait, why does the home look so much better on the photos? Reason number five, the seller already feels difficult. Now, this one is not always fair, but it absolutely happens. Buyers start forming opinions about sellers before they have ever met them. When they see sold strictly as is, no repairs will be made, showings limited, seller requires unusual terms. Some buyers immediately think, oh great, this is going to be a nightmare transaction. Now, there are often legitimate reasons behind those requests. Maybe the seller is elderly, maybe there's a tenant, maybe there's a medical situation, maybe they are relocating, but buyers do not always know that. They just see obstacles. And when buyers have lots of options available, many decide to skip the potential headache altogether. Number 6, the property taxes are too high. This one surprises a lot of sellers because it has nothing to do with the house itself. Buyers just do not look at the mortgage payment anymore. They're looking at the total monthly cost. If a comparable home has property taxes that are several $100s a month lower, that home immediately becomes more attractive, even if it's priced slightly higher. In Colorado, taxes can vary quite a bit depending on the area, metro district taxes, and whether it's a newer neighborhood. Buyers are comparing all of those monthly costs. Number 7, buyers cannot picture themselves living there. This is where presentation matters. If the home is filled with personal items, clutter, bold paint colors, or oversized furniture, buyers often have a hard time imagining it as their own. The longer it takes someone to mentally move in, the less emotionally attached they become. Sometimes a weekend of decluttering and simple staging can completely change how buyers feel about a property. I would rather see all of your clutter in boxes in the garage or in a spare bedroom than taking over the whole house. Number 8, it does not feel like a good value. I would rather see all of your personal items that buyers may see as clutter. I know it's your beloved things, but you want to clear out as much stuff as you can and only have essentially decor and staging. And it's okay to box those things up that you're going to be moving with and take them to the garage or even into a spare bedroom if that's your only option. Number 8, it does not feel like a good value. This is becoming one of the biggest reasons homes sit. Today's buyers are educated. Before they even schedule a showing, they have already compared your home to 5 or 10 others online. If they believe another home offers a better layout, newer updates, lower monthly costs, or simply more for the money, they'll move on without making an offer. The market decides value, not what we hope it is worth. Number 9, insurance costs are becoming a bigger deal. This has become a much bigger conversation over the last couple of years. Older roofs, homes in higher wildfire risk areas, previous insurance claims, or certain types of construction can all lead to much higher insurance premiums. Sometimes buyers get an insurance quote during escrow and realize the monthly payment is much higher than they expected. That alone can cause them to simply walk away. Number 10, buyers have non-negotiables. Every buyer has a few things that they simply will not compromise on. Maybe it's a 3-car garage, a main floor primary bedroom, a fenced backyard for the dog, a certain school district, or maybe it's simply wanting a home that does not need work. The point is, just because your home checks 90% of the boxes does not mean it checks the right boxes for that buyer. That is why exposing your home to the largest possible pool of buyers is so important. So if you're getting ready to sell your home, do not assume buyers are thinking the same way they were a few years ago. Today's buyers are much more payment conscious, much more selective, and they are comparing every home against dozens of others online. The good news is that most of these issues can be identified before your home ever hits the market. If you are in Colorado, I would love to help you put together a strategy that helps your home stand out and sell for the best possible price. If you're outside of Colorado, I can connect you with a great real estate agent who works the same way I do, and I personally select them, and I can even give you 2 options and you can pick which one you like better. Just click the link below, fill out the short form, and I'll personally reach out to you within 24 hours to help you get started.
I can put you in a house on a hill, put you in a condo in the city.